Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a book haul. I have 4 books and 2 little games here, and I'm really excited for all of these. I think I have a really nice selection here. I got 2 books and a game from one bookstore, and then 2 more books and another game from another bookstore. This is across a couple days. Before I start, I want to say please make sure to like and subscribe. I know I haven't been consistent recently, but I just posted a video a couple days ago, and I am planning to post 3 times a week for at least the next 3 weeks, and I'm really excited. I'm gonna film another video tomorrow. I think I'll start with the classics, and the first one I have is Dostoevsky's The Dream of a Ridiculous Man. This also has 2 or 3 more short stories by Dostoevsky. I saw this and I was instantly hoping it would be something I like because I love these new Penguin copies. The Little Black Penguin classics are very iconic, but they're not my favorite. I don't really like the material of the covers, and I feel like black, just pure black, I don't know, I don't really like it on book covers. It looks kind of cheap, and I really prefer these. I like the material, I love red and white together, and I love the font. I recently read White Nights, which also came with a Meek one and one other story, which I really enjoyed. This one includes The Dream of a Ridiculous Man, which is about an insane man whose dream ends up changing his life. It also comes with a Meek one, which, like I said, I already read. There's Bobok, and A Christmas Party and a Wedding. It's easy to carry around, and the stories are very short and almost bite-sized. Next, I have Truman Capote's In Cold Blood. If you haven't heard of this, it is one of the classic mystery novels, kind of like an Agatha Christie-esque. Now, I tried Agatha Christie and I did not like her book. I hated her book, actually. I read 251 from Paddington. It was absolutely terrible. I hated the way she wrote. I hated the way the reveal was revealed. It was so stupid, and I just wasn't interested in anyone or anything. However, I did end up watching the Murder on the Orient Express movie, which I really loved, and I know that she has better books, I guess, so I have another one of her books that I've had for years, and I just put it to the side because I had gotten it with 251 from Paddington and I didn't enjoy that one, but I might give it another try. I also now have this to compare it to. On the 15th of November 1959, in the small town of Holcomb, Kansas, a wealthy farmer, his wife, and their 2 young children were found brutally murdered. Blood all over the walls, the telephone lines cut, and only a few dollars stolen. Heading up the investigation is Agent Al Dewey, but all he has are 2 footprints, 4 bodies, and a whole lot of questions. Truman Capote's detailed reconstruction of the events and consequences of that fateful night in cold blood is a chilling, gripping mix of journalistic skill and imaginative power. Oh, scrap everything I said. I think this is based on a real story. It's a classic mystery detective novel, and I am very excited for it. Next, I have 2 non-classic books. The first is a thriller. If you know me, you know I really struggle with finding good thrillers, but I'm very hopeful that this one's actually going to be a good book. It's Those Who Wish Me Dead by Michael Kurita. When 13-year-old Jace Wilson witnesses a brutal murder, he's plunged into a new life, issued a false identity, and hidden in a wilderness skills program for troubled teens. The plan is to get Jace off the grid, while police find the 2 killers. The result is the start of a nightmare. The killers, known as the Blackwell brothers, are slaughtering anyone who gets in their way in a methodical quest to reach him. Now all that remains between them and the boy are Ethan and Allison Serban, who run the wilderness program, Hannah Faber, who occupies a lonely fire lookout tower, and endless miles of desolate Montana mountains. The clock is ticking, the mountains are burning, and those who wish Jace Wilson dead are no longer far behind. I was captivated also by the first page or 2. It starts by saying that on Jace Wilson's last day alive, he was going to jump into a river, I believe, which is a very high jump just as a dare. I found it interesting that it started by telling us that it was his last day alive. I don't know if it's a bluff or I'm understanding it wrong. I usually don't like that, but I'm really interested to see how it's written. I also saw a lot of good reviews for this. The last novel that I have is a small non-fiction based book. It's called Small Boat. In November 2021, an inflatable dinghy, which is like a boat, carrying migrants from France to the United Kingdom capsized in the Channel, causing the death of 27 people on board. Despite receiving numerous calls for help, the French authorities wrongly told the migrants they were in British waters and had to call the British authorities for help. By the time rescue vessels arrived on the scene, all but 2 of the migrants had died. The narrator of this fictional account of the events is the woman who took the calls. Accused of failing in her duty, she refuses to be held more responsible than the others for this disaster. Why should she be more responsible than the sea, than the war, than the crisis behind these tragedies? A shocking moral tale of our times, Small Boat reminds us of the power of fiction to eliminate our darkest crimes. I feel like this will be really interesting. I, of course, want to read on the actual event after. This is something that happens a lot, and I think it's important to use fiction to shed light on that. I'm interested to see how he's going to present the woman who took the calls and whether he's going to try justify her or blame her. I don't know how it's going to be handled, and it's quite a short book, so I'm very interested. That's it for all the books. I now have 2 little games. The first is the original sudoku book. I'm really excited for this. I think this is going to be really nice to carry around. I don't think I've ever been the biggest fan of sudoku. I understand how it works, but I just get confused with how it isn't anything but just luck and a little bit of thought. I prefer crosswords. You need to kind of work for it in a more academic or literary sense. But I'm gonna do a few of these now and see how I feel about it. I definitely think it's fun to do, especially a bit mindlessly. And this is a very, very original, so I'm excited to use this. Next, this isn't really a game, but it's just a deck of cards, a new deck of cards. And this is gonna be the deck of cards that I will just be carrying in my bag everywhere. I feel like it's gonna be very helpful and fun to just have a deck of cards on hand if I ever need to spontaneously play a game with someone or shuffle some cards. They're such gorgeous cards. I'll show you guys. This is the 140th anniversary playing cards from Bicycle. They're gold and red themed, and they're so pretty. The actual cards themselves are classic red and black. The jokers, kings, queens all look like a regular deck of cards if the colors are slightly heightened, and they say 2025 or 1885. Yeah, I love these. I feel like they're going to be really handy and good conversation starters as well. I recently got back into cards. I used to play them a lot when I was a kid, but my brother recently got a deck and we've been playing them, and I was like, I thought it would be really nice to just be carrying them around as well. That is it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I'm going to be posting a lot. My next video is finally going to be my first video essay. I'm really excited for that. It's probably going to be a little bit longer. I have a TikTok, Substack, and Medium as well, so please follow me on there, and I will see you guys not next week, a little bit sooner.